Yeah, man. Motherfucking Breakfast Club struck a nigga. I had to take a class and shit. Oh, give me 1 second. Yeah.
I should be back on the block again. Hold on. Mic check. Let me drop this link, man. I don't know if Taz and them doing promo and stuff, but I hope they come through and talk some shit too. Let me find this stream, put the link in that shit. Appreciate that like. Hit that like button. That's hard. Okay. There we go. It's pinned. Domo, you can't win this, man. I'm sorry, bro. Like I promise, I ain't trying to antagonize you. I ain't on no whole shit or nothing, bro. But you can't win this, man. Mm-mm. Not you. Not you. Not even you. You can't win this, Domo. Domo, you can't win this. This about Dr. Sebi, man. Being a snake oil salesman, man. Like I'm dead ass, bro. Like I'm looking at anything I could look at. I'm looking at every court case. I'm looking at anything that got Dr. Sebi name on the internet, looking for evidence of him being a snake oil salesman. It ain't out there, bro. And I told y'all Diddy was gonna get like 5 years. I told y'all that. Told y'all Diddy gonna get like 5 years. I see that verdict came down. Everybody's streaming about it. So if y'all go back to the other stream with me and Blues on, he's like, "What you think you gonna do?" I said, "Like 4 years." Or it could have been. I one who asked me. But yeah, Tomo, you can't win this, man. Tomo, man, you can't win this, bro. You riding on the ethos of a group of people who just didn't do the research, man. Like this is the craziest I've ever seen. This might be the most incorrect you've ever been about anything. And I know you know it at this point. I know you know it at this point. I know you know there is nothing I can do with the information I'm finding to win this debate. I don't get it. I don't get your motivation. I don't get your sense and your logic where it came from, who you trusted. Domo, but they let you down, my boy. They have let you down, my boy. Trust me. Trust me, bro. I wouldn't even do you like that. I wouldn't even do you like that. I would not sit up here and lie to you about you knowing you can't win this. Domo, this the craziest I've ever seen you be, bro. Shout out to Lou. Domo, I don't know what you did, man. Domo, I don't know what you did. I don't know what you did. I don't know what you did, man. But you done got yourself in the ditch, man. I'm listening to everybody argument, the chat, other people YouTube channels. It's just not backed by any evidence. Honestly, it's not. Everybody bringing up the Dr. Sebi hair follicle stuff that the one dude Jamel Brown said swole his head up, and that went nowhere. Not only did it went nowhere, but it wasn't nothing. It was some dude who made a claim that lied on Dr. Sebi products, and then it was fake, or I won't say fake, but it was a false report of physical harm filed in California. And I can't even prove that to be real. Like that could have been, but as far as we know, that was just a Facebook viral clip moment that people just dove on it. But there's not no case with this dude and them. It's just not. And Dr. Sebi team responded and said they sent the stuff off to the lab, and it was from the same batch that they sold to him, the batch number match, and everything in there was organic, was no chemicals in there. Therefore, it had the swelling had nothing to do with their product, and if it did, it was a allergic reaction to something in there that they already told them was in there. That's listed in there. So if you buy some with bananas and you're allergic to the bananas and put it on your head, that's nothing. There's no other person filing a court case talk about Dr. Sebi product. Fuck me up. It's more court cases going on in the family between each other than it is for people suing outside. I'm sorry. And you got that man a snake oil salesman. And you got that man a snake oil salesman. And you caught that man a snake oil salesman, bro. You are hit like good reef on this one, brother. I'm sorry. You are good reef. You are hit. I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know what dance you. Well, I mean, I think I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna try to minimize what a snake oil salesman is to, and try to compartmentalize it to pseudoism, things he can't prove, but things that may have been wrong that he said. And then you're gonna try to say is my defense is a fallacy. Oh, let me turn this down, son. I'm not putting it out as well. That my defense is a fallacy. I know what you're gonna do. Not this time, Domo. And I know you see it. And I know you see it, bro. I know you reading. I know you searching. I know you studying. You better have. I hope you ain't got the ego where you like, man, it's an open the shut case. My tactic gonna work. This nigga hit. I hope you don't. Cause that's gonna be ugly. That's gonna be ugly if that's what you're doing, bro. Come on, man. I'm gonna help you, dog. I'm gonna help you, dog. Don't do this shit no more. You on dead bullshit with this one, brother. You on dead bullshit with this one. But we do have to debate it. You do get your rounds and you get your rebuttals, and then you get to ask me questions and stuff. But I don't see you finagling yourself out of this one, bro. I don't see you finagling yourself out of this one. This a heavy rock to carry, brother. This a heavy boulder to swim with, my nigga. Was Dr. Sebi a snake oil salesman? Man, let me call the guys. Let them know we got him. 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 A snake oil salesman. A snake oil salesman. Dr. Sebi. It ain't nothing out there, bro. It ain't nothing out there. I'm looking. I'm looking for ways to destroy my argument, dismantle my argument. It's not there, my guy. It's not there, my guy. You hit like good reefer, bro. Let's prevent peace. Peace, peace, peace. Mm. And that's what I mean, man. All this political shit a nigga be talking, and the nigga asks one question about a black person, and this nigga dies. Oh, you out of the loop? Okay, bet. Let me do this then. Let me do this then. Shout out to you, Lily. Let me show y'all where it started again. Let me see. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, man. Shout out to you for giving me a reason to show this again. Where's it at? Oh, here you go. Okay, let me share this. So, I don't know how far you. Okay, you know me and Domo in the debate league over there on Psychopathia channel, and so we spun the wheel, and me and Domo have to debate each other, and so listening to Domo's interview, this is what we had got.
So you had black women that were a part of really take hours. So he flawed but necessary.
Okay, so here we
He's
go.
flawed but necessary.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Tim Scott.
Coon. Oh shit. Cause I oh shit. Um, fat fuck. The fat fuck.
Okay, so this is when Psycho was just asking him, "What's his thought on random people?" So he asked him,
Shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, what you got to say about Candace Owens?
Damn artist. The OG. Ooh, I know this is gonna piss some.
"Okay, here we
Dr.
go,
Sebi.
Dr. Sebi."
Ooh, I know this is gonna piss some people off. Snake oil salesman.
Mm.
Mm, snake oil salesman. I ain't even like that. That's bogus. Snake oil salesman. And so I hit the panel and asked him a few questions, and it went like this. Some
White, and that
base. What is?
system is a white supremacist system.
Oh, okay. So without white supremacy,
Like I answered the question. What are we doing?
no, you refuse to answer the hypothetical I just
I'm
asked you.
refusing to answer the question the way you want me to. If you don't like my answer, that's to you
No,
then.
no, no. You just clearly didn't answer the question. Okay, I'll move on. Um, so now that you said Dr. Seppi, when you was asked about him, the
Snake oil
first thing that
salesman.
came to your
Snake
mind
oil
was a
salesman.
snake
Snake oil
oil
salesman.
salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you saying that Dr. Sebi in the whole, like the greatest imprint he left on this world was being a snake oil salesman?
I didn't say nothing about the greatest imprint that he left on the world.
I know that's why I'm asking
He
because it's
asked
like
me. He asked me what came to mind when
we
he
all
said
saw
Dr.
what he
Sebi.
did. I'm saying
Yeah.
why was that your answer? Like the biggest thing I could think
Because
of is he's a
to
snake oil
me, that's
salesman.
what to me, based on the court cases, based on the testimony, based on
Which court case?
the way that people have responded. Yeah,
Which court case?
the snake oil
What court
salesman.
case?
When they were sued due to the claims that he was making and whether or not the claims that he was making were accurate, whether or not they were true,
Okay. Do
whether
you
he
think
could
he
solve
lost
the
that
things that he
case?
was actually saying he solved for.
You think he lost that case?
I know he lost that case.
No, he won that case.
Okay.
When they was talking about the claims that he was making about healing certain things, like back in the day, that's the case you're talking about, or are you talking about a more modern case?
I'm not aware of multiple cases. There's one case that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the only case, and he won that. You think he got locked up or prosecuted or had to
I
pay
didn't say he
fines or
got
some
locked
shit?
up or prosecuted. The matter of fact, I said he was. If I'm not mistaken, he was sued. You don't get locked up for being sued.
I'm saying, but you thought he lost that?
Yeah, it's been found that the claims that he was making weren't accurate. Period.
They weren't accurate, period?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me mark that down. All right, and then another thing you said when it came to Kanye West, and so he agreed to debate that. Is Dr. Sebi a snake oil salesman? He's taking the affirmative, saying, yeah, he's going to prove that Dr. Sebi was a snake oil salesman, and I'm taking the negative. You cannot prove Dr. Sebi was a snake oil salesman. So, I mean, maybe you could help him. I don't know. I don't see nothing. You know, I don't know. Nah, the debates ain't started yet. The first one is the 19th, Taz and A9, B1 uh, or Israelite paradigm, which is best for black people. Yeah, but he swore he lost that court case. And the civil case was a case of because the vernacular medicine and cure is patented. I think like Rockefeller got the patent for cure. Like these were languages that was made up or used in certain or wasn't patented at the time or whatever the fuck. But yeah, that's just he had to pay $900 for using the words cure and medicine in a newspaper. Like you can say it all you want, but once you print it in a newspaper in a certain fashion, or like an advertisement, now you're using own vernacular that means this, and this is defined by the FDA and the AMA, and they don't define natural herbs as medicine. And that's why he won the case because he didn't define them as medicine, but it was like kind of a fucked up vernacular that they used in the paper. So I don't think I have an uphill battle. I think the only thing he got is the ethos of the people who ain't really looked into it, who just said, huh, that makes sense to me. I mean, all I need to know is he lost the civil and some dude claimed that his head swelled up. But other than that, you don't have anything. And when you look into the claim about the dude with his head swelled up, that's a false report. Dude just claimed it. It's not even a court case. It's not even a lawsuit. Like the Sebi institution tested the product, found that everything that was in it is what they said was in it. It was no chemicals. Everything was natural herbs, roots, and they put the product back on the shelf. Nothing ever came of that. And them losing the civil didn't mean that that his claims were false. It was he can't legally use that verbiage. Um, he can't legally use that verbiage. But that's only because laws was created to um laws was created to criminalize the use of that language, in that way. So yeah, I don't have an uphill battle. I just got once I show the information, I think everybody gonna be like, yeah, I'm in admit I didn't know that, I didn't know that, I didn't look at that, I didn't consider that. I just listened to some stuff and that was it. I ain't gonna lie, that was it. Man, I'm waiting for that information though. I sure would like to see, but you can't. It's nothing you can do with it. Like I see if he actually like was proven not to cure AIDS. Because if it was proven that he didn't cure AIDS, if it was proven that he didn't cure AIDS, he'd be in jail or fined for that. That was the whole thing. Okay, although we can't prove you didn't cure AIDS, by our standard of proof, you didn't cure AIDS. So, stalemate, we both go back. But you did use our verbiage in your advertising, so you owe us for that. I need my $900. Like $900. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. I ain't even gonna lie. There's nothing he could do. All he could do is sit up there and say, prove he cured AIDS. Prove he cured AIDS. Pure he prove he cured AIDS. Like, I don't know what you're gonna do. Pure he prove he cured this. Prove he cured that. Prove he see this is a fallacy. Nah, man. That man did exactly what he said. They had that man come to court. They said bring one person from each ailment that you say you reversed. 15 ailments. He needed 15 people. The nigga brought 70 people to court with him. The judge said you need documentation that these people were declared sick with that ailment from a medical accredited physician. And then I need proof that they don't have that ailment after that date from another approved medical physician. They did that 70 times. Got on their nerves. Nah, you're gonna listen to this shit now. Because you thought you had me. But this dude, doctor told him he had AIDS. He came saw me. He don't no more. This dude, doctor said he had herpes. He came see me. He don't no more. This woman, doctor said that she had lupus. Came to see me. She don't no more. This person, blindness, don't no more. This person, paralysis, don't no more. Like, and they had to sit there and listen. All 70 of them people. Come on, man. Come on, man. And we already know they was after him because they had sent undercover agents trying to persuade him to do something criminal, and they didn't. If you could put those examples on the PowerPoint, you might have something. Oh, I have something. I have some. That's what I'm saying. Somebody give me the evidence that he was a snake oil salesman. That's what I'm saying. A snake oil salesman is someone who knowingly, willingly, and purposely sells people medicine that doesn't cure what it claims to cure, all for the principle of money. And then once they get burnt up, they burn up their name and their product is no good in that area. They change their name, move to another area, and start fooling that group of people. Sebi stuff did what he said it did. And when he got confronted, he went to court without legal representation and beat the Supreme Court, the Attorney General, by himself. And still got his wife and kids out here talking the same shit. Yeah, we doing that still to this day. I had 71 patients that had AIDS last year and 52 patients that had herpes, which some people over there say is don't cure. Yeah, a snake oil salesman. Let's find that video then. Come on. Let's see if we can find what is this snake oil salesman. Okay, let's see. The real story of snake oil. That's the real story of the snake oil. Uh,
The late 19th century saw a surge in traveling medicine shows. captivating audiences with a potent mix of entertainment and dubious medical claims. These shows, often held under large tents illuminated by flickering gaslights, drew in crowds eager for a distraction from the hardships of frontier life. Snake oil salesmen, with their booming voices and charismatic personalities, were masters of persuasion. The late 19th century saw
Man, I
Sir,
thought
look,
Jay was gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. That'd be the bullshit. That's why I don't even fuck with shorts. Um, the greatest snake oil salesman of all time. Let's see who that is. Shout out to Patrick Kelly.
it might not
This is
look
for
like it, but this
educational
little almanac is
purposes.
an undercover drug advertisement from 1905. Like actual almanacs of
Okay.
the time, they had facts and fortunes for the year ahead,
All
expected
right.
weather, astronomy, zodiac for that month, that kind of thing. But you'll notice how
Okay.
on each page, there's some prominent figure talking about this amazing drug called Peruna. For March, Reverend J.N. Parker says that in
Corona.
1901, I lost my sense of hearing entirely. I was also troubled with severe rheumatic pains in my limbs. I commenced taking Peruna, and now my hearing is restored as good as it was proper to June 1901. My
Okay.
rheumatic
Okay.
pains are all gone. I cannot speak too highly.
Okay. That's a claim. Corona. Man, come on, man. Why'd you claim? Nigga said he couldn't hear, lost his hearing or some shit. Okay, educational
Of
purposes.
Peruna. Super subtle advertising, right? And printed materials were just the beginning. They hired popular musicians to sing songs about their product on the radio, and even got one college to
Uh-oh. They use the media, got celebrities, paid them to lie about that shit.
name their mascot after the brand. At one point, this was the best-selling medicine in America, and it
The best-selling medicine in America.
was
All right.
28% alcohol. It cured nothing. Back in the late 19th and early 20th
28% alcohol cured nothing. And you look at Dr. Sebi products, they are 100% organic, natural plants and herbs, bro. It's natural. You don't need Dr. Sebi to tell your ass to eat from the earth. You don't need Dr. Sebi to tell you to heal yourself with the earth. If you believe in the Bible, it say the herbs are for the healing of the nation. If you believe in the AMA charter says um they lean on the shoulders of Hippocrates or whatever his goddamn name is. And his philosophy was heal people with plants, herbs, spices, roots, berries. It's about your diet. It's about what you intake. Yeah. So ain't no way in hell you can sit up here and look at Dr. Sebi products and say they don't help nothing. They don't help nothing. They don't help nothing. These people been taking this shit for thousands of years and they ain't dealing with the fuck you dealing. They don't got cancer. They don't got high blood pressure. They don't got heart disease. They not overweight. They not dying at 40. And up until Rockefeller did his old wicked ass shit, the whole world was healing like that. 50%, the 50% of the hospitals in America had to shut down, and 90% of the black medical institutions had to shut down because Rockefeller implemented through the motherfucking with Carnegie through the what was the goddamn paper name? The Frenzel report or some shit where they started finding the petrochemicals and the oil products that Rockefeller owned because he had the monopoly over the oil industry. So after he lost his monopoly in the oil industry, he got in the medical industry and dumped $100 million at that time, which today would be $1 billion, to convert people from holistic, herbal, homeopathic healing to synthetic vitamins. And if you didn't agree to switch over to it, your school didn't get funded. So all the people who stuck to the old ways, the prices of their herbs went down because he had the money for marketing. He was building the institution. He even tried to go do it in China, and it did some shit, but they fought back, and they still got their herbal shit. Ain't no way you can say Dr. Sebi products don't do what the fuck he say they do. They would have shut that shit down. It wouldn't be no Usha motherfucking compound. They still over there right now in Honduras. They're still out here right now in the United States, in LA. The motherfucking fig tree. And what was the other one? Like, because he got like, man, come on, man. Y'all got me fucked up, bro. Two of his wives got an institution open, and they kids are incorporated in it. And they still claiming to heal people, to reverse illnesses. There you go. You on fallacies. You sound like Domo. Inserting Rockefeller was worse is the red herring. Your mind already made up. You picked out Rockefeller and ran down the street. Did you not hear what I said? Up until Rockefeller did that, the medical industry was doing what Sebi was teaching. It was a money move to convert to synthetic. So now this is where your ideology comes from because you're born in a time where people are taking pills. People are taking pills when you born. So now when somebody do like your great, like how your great grandmama treated your grandmama, now when somebody do that, you scared of it. You don't believe in it. It's pseudo. It don't work. Like, come on, man. Yeah, you definitely if we went straight to the Domo playbook, I was like, because he did already jumped on the pedal and said a slippery slope fallacy. Yeah, but he ain't gonna have no evidence. You can't prove one product don't do what it don't. You can't prove that one product don't do what he said it did. Any product that was in Sabi hand said it did exactly what the fuck he said it did. What he was teaching, fasting, yeah, fasting don't help you. Drinking healthier water, thermal water, don't help you. Having a plant-based diet don't help you. Come on, man. I don't know what Domo gonna do. Yeah, he gonna pull out all the fallacy claims this time. He gonna pull out all the fallacy claims this time. But he ain't gonna have a conversation. Let's get through the snake oil salesman shit.
century, these kinds of sham medicines, along with the over the top marketing strategies, were really common. They were called patent medicines. If you've heard the
Patent medicines. No shit. Were they called patent medicines? All right.
phrase snake oil before, it's the same thing. Patent medicines like snake oil and Peruna were someone's unregulated secret recipe that they sold under some kind of trademarked name. The patent
Unregulated. Let's see
were
that.
someone's unregulated
Unregulated. He definitely regulates his shit. And it's regulated because if they could lock his ass up, he would. He went to court. Ain't that regulation? Wasn't he regulated? So it's regulated by the government. It's just not allowed to be called medicine. It's not recognized or certified by the FDA or the AMA to be medicine. And he's fine with that. It ain't medicine. A secret recipe is not a secret recipe. It's right there on the bottle. The nigga let you know. It's this herb from here, this root from here, this spice from here.
secret recipe that they sold under some kind of trademark
Now his shit trademark, I believe. Or is it? Because there's a lot of people doing the Sebi shit. I don't know.
name. The patent medicine industry dominated the advertising landscape in the late 19th, early 20th century.
1930, man, now listen. And this is regulated. This your people. This showing you money could get your medicine in the motherfucking paper and you could blow up and become the biggest Snake oil salesman.
Century, and Peruna was the biggest company out there. And their popularity was responsible for two of the biggest pieces of public health legislation in U.S. history.
And Nation was responsible for two of the biggest pieces of health legislation in American history.
The FDA and the FTC. This is the story of how patent medicines changed the state of advertising in America forever.
Man, this motherfucker talking for a long time. But yeah, man, snake oil salesman. Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
One of the guys on TV said that you were a snake oil salesman.
You're really just a snake oil salesman.
A snake oil salesman.
A snake oil salesman is someone who tricks people into buying fake or useless things.
One of the guys on TV said that you were a snake oil salesman.
You're really just a
Someone who tricks people into buying useless shit.
We have all heard it. That guy's a snake oil salesman, a shyster, a con. This terminology has become an intricate part of our culture, but where did that term come from?
Where
Were
did
they
that term
really
come
snake oil
from?
salesmen? Did they really sell snake oil? It all began when the Transcontinental Railroad was being built in
When the Transcontinental Railroad was being made and the agents was building it, they brought that shit over here, snake oil, which was a real remedy for aches, pain, soreness, shit like that. Lack of energy. It was some real shit they got from a real snake. And they brought it over here. The white people saw them using it. The white people wanted to turn it into a business, but couldn't get it enough for the product. The snake juice over here couldn't import enough to sustain the business. So they started making fake snake oil based off the reputation of the real snake oil. So snake oil was a real thing at one time, but of course it got popularized because we were in white supremacy. So now snake oil salesman is somebody who is on some bullshit. Man, I appreciate it, God. I appreciate it. Brother Moses in the motherfucking bill. Here you go.
North America. Chinese immigrants came over, and with them their cures for the aching joints and muscles that they had at the end of each workday. What they used was snake oil. Americans, seeing how well this remedy worked, jumped on the
Jumped on the bandwagon. Another motherfucking familiar term. Now let's see what happened.
bandwagon, and word quickly spread that this was a cure for rheumatism, joint pain, and other things. The craze soon developed into a fervor. People began snake farms. In the Patriot newspaper in 1885, rattlesnake oil was said to be going for $4 an ounce. By
$4.
1891, the Wheeling Register claimed rattlesnakes were going for $25 to $50.
God damn. See what happened when they get in the hand of the capitalists, man. Them damn Democrats and them damn Republicans.
Each if they were 4 feet or longer. Soon, snake oil salesmen were everywhere, touting the wondrous claims of this cure. They would grandstand at circuses and carnivals, thrilling the audience with their hissing rattlers and claims of the wonderful drug. Clark Stanley was the most famous snake oil salesman and became known as the Rattlesnake King. Problem
The rattlesnake king. You ain't getting the snake oil that them Asians is using from them damn snakes.
was there wasn't much snake in the snake oil. Mostly it was mineral oil, camphor, turpentine, and red pepper. It did little to relieve the sore aching muscles, and suspicion grew. Even when it was made with authentic rattlesnake oil, it never seemed to match the claims of the Chinese workers' oil. So why was that? It appears when the Americans made their snake oil, it was done with rattlesnake. This was the crux of the problem. It was the wrong snake altogether. In 1905, Collier
So you telling me Dr. Sebi used the broad plant altogether? Oh, this ain't sassafras.
magazine did an expose on the snake oil salesmen, declaring them frauds, pushing useless and sometimes dangerous cures. The public was furious that they had been duped, and they led to the Pure Food and Drug Act being passed in 1907. So why did the Chinese product seem so miraculous when the American made one was a dud? Well, the Chinese used a completely different snake in their oil. The Chinese water snake, Hydra chinesis, was used, and as it was aquatic, it ate mostly
My nigga,
fish, something rattlesnakes in the desert never do.
my
This made them
nigga.
particularly useful for fighting inflammation. EPA acids or omega oils have been found not only to reduce inflammation, but reduce high blood pressure, cholesterol, and depression as well. Neurophysiology researcher Richard Cunin brought redemption to the snake oil in 1989 when he wrote a letter to the Western Journal of Medicine claiming that Chinese water snakes had almost 20% EPA oil, higher than the salmon at 18, and rattlesnakes had a measly 4% oil. It
Hmm.
appears that snake oil was an effective remedy after all. So when we make claims that something is to be believed or not, we may not have all the facts. What we think may be true may.
Man, she spitting them bars. She spitting them damn bars. So yeah, that's what a snake oil salesman is. Now, what evidence you gonna bring to say that other than the people's heart? Well, we don't believe it. And I go to work every day and pay bills and raise kids, so I know I'm right about everything. Yeah, no, man, not this time. Not this time, Domo. There won't be a fallacy that you can pull. Yep. All you can say, all you can do is just insult me. But you cannot have the conversation, man. You gotta have this conversation. You got your ass caught up. Is Dr. Sebi a snake oil salesman? You can't do this, Domo. You can't do this. You ain't even got it in you to sit up there and lie like this. You're gonna have to manufacture some evidence. Mm. You're gonna have to manufacture some evidence. Telling you, bro. It ain't nothing you can do. Just find anything. What you do, Lilith? Go try to find some shit? Go find anything, man. And then turn that into snake oil selling. A snake oil salesman. That man had natural herbs that is proven to heal and is accepted everywhere that the FDA or the CMB or any other Rockefeller institution ain't at. They fucking with them. One of them motherfuckers from the food, I mean, from the AMA said Dr. Sebi either deserves a Peace Prize or he deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life. And guess what? He won that court case, so they couldn't send him to prison. So tell me now, why he ain't got a motherfucking Nobel Peace Prize? Motherfucker said that shit. What he doing either should get him locked up forever or should get him the Nobel Peace Prize. But they refuse to do. They just stand on it. It's like trying to get mainstream history to investigate the Africans come to America before slavery. They not. They gonna dismiss your claim. They gonna say we all know that black people are only over here because of slavery. So when you say, "Hey, this cures AIDS," they gonna say, "Well, we know AIDS is incurable. We ain't even gonna waste no money researching what you're talking about." But they put all that money into putting mercury and lead in your motherfucking ass. So they got caught doing that shit and found out it was no, no. Yeah, it's nothing he could do. It's nothing he could do. I'm coming straight up the middle. I don't got no got you moment. I don't got no. Show me he's a snake oil salesman. Show me he's a fucking snake oil salesman. Like that is crazy. How much of the debate will hinge on the claim for curing AIDS? He probably hedges on that because he can't do nothing else. And I guess if you just Google his AIDS been cured, it's gonna say no. So he just gonna lean. He just gonna appeal to authority and say, "See, these people said AIDS ain't been cured. Has AIDS been cured?" No, there is currently no cure for AIDS. He gonna look at that and say, "See," and let me see who said that. The National Institute of Health. National Institute of Health said, "Yeah, man, I don't know what he gonna do. I don't know what he gonna do." And man, now check this out. It says, um, let me see. In 2024, this is just last year, the HHS Office of Research Integrity updated its policies to address fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism in the Public Health Service Fund research. Since 2018, ORI has publicly summarized nearly 30 cases of misconduct in the National Institute of Health funded research, and the NIH has received over 1,000 allegations. Specific cases, the ORA has continued to post case summaries of misconduct findings in 24 and 25. For example, in August 2025, it reported a finding of research misconduct against a former Washington State University scientific assistant who engaged in falsification and plagiarism of data related to the NIH grant rent, citing the potential for fabricated citations of plagiarism. The NIH have issued guidance and limiting the use of artificial intelligence in research. Hell no, conflict of interest. Yeah, nah. Political influence and funding disruption. In 24 and 25, concerns have emerged regarding political influence affecting NIH funding and research priorities. Grant terminations. In 2025, former NIH officials alleged they were forced out in retaliation for opposing the Trump administration termination of grants and contracts deemed politically sensitive, such as those related to the COVID-19, gender identity, and health disparities. Supreme Court ruling. The Supreme Court in September 25 allowed the administration to cancel approximately $800 million in grants. This followed a federal judge in June 2025 ruling that some of these grant terminations were illegal and discriminatory. So now we see politics and funding affecting the NIH. So if a motherfucker paying them to say, no, ain't no cure for AIDS, bad. That's what the fuck they gonna do. And we saw that. Um, but how many times you just saw somebody say, hey man, that shit is cured and then come on missing? Let me see. If they're strictly adhering to the debate questions, was Dr. Sebi a snake oil salesman? Man, Domo has a pretty decent chance of losing. Yeah, yeah. The better debate questions should be in, did Dr. Sebi actually cure the ailments he claimed he could? That would be harder to prove. Hey man, he said it. He said it. I wasn't even in the room. It was him and Psycho. Psycho said, "What is your thoughts on Dr. Sebi?" He said, "Snake oil salesman." He said, "I know this is gonna hurt some people's feelings." Snake oil salesman. Let me see something. Okay, so let me read this. This says, "How did Fauci memory hole a cure for AIDS and get away with it?" Um, It said over 700,000 Americans have died of AIDS since 1981, with the disease claiming some 42.3 million victims worldwide, while HIV diagnosis is no longer considered a certain death sentence. The disease looms large in the public imagination and in public health funding, with contemporary treatments running into thousands of dollars per patient annually. But was there a cure for AIDS all this time? An affordable and safe treatment that was ruthlessly suppressed and attacked by the U.S. public health bureaucracy and its agents? Could this have saved millions of lives and billions of dollars spent on AZT, DDL, and failed HIV vaccine trials? What could possibly justify the decision to disappear a safe and effective approach down the memory hole? The inventor of the cure, Gary Null, already has several decades of experience in creating healing protocols for physicians to help patients not responding well to conventional treatments by the time AIDS was officially defined in 1981. Null, a registered dietitian and board certified nutritionist with a PhD in human nutrition and public health science, was a senior research fellow, fellow and the director of anti-aging medicine at the Institute of Applied Biology for 36 years and has published over 950 papers. Conducting groundbreaking experiments in reversing biological aging is confirmed with DNA methylation testing. Additionally, Noah is a multi-awarded winning documentary filmmaker, best-selling author, and investigative journalist whose work exposing crimes against humanity over the last 50 years has highlighted abuses by big pharma, the military industrial complex, the financial industry, and the permanent government stay behind networks that have come to be known as the deep state. Noah was contacted in 1974 by Stephen Kayaza, a physician working within the subculture of gay men in New York living in the so-called fast track lifestyle, an extreme manifestation of the gay liberation movement that began with the Stonewall Rise, defined by rampant sexual promiscuity and copious use of illegal and prescription drugs, including heavy antibiotic use of the cornucopia of sexually transmitted diseases. The fast track never included more than about 2% of gay men, though these dominated many of the bathhouses and clubs that define gay nightlife in the area. These patients had become seriously ill as a result of their indulgence and generally arriving at a clinic with multiple STDs, including cytomegalovirus and several types of herpes and hepatitis, along with candida overgrowth, nutritional deficiencies, gut issues, and recurring pneumonia. Every week for the next 10 years, Noah will counsel two or three of these men, a total of 800 patients, on how to detoxify their bodies and de-stress their lives, tracking the progress with Kayaza and the other providers of the weekly feedback meetings that he credits with allowing the team to quickly evaluate which treatments were most effective. He observed that it only took about 2 years on the fast track for a healthy young person to begin seeing muscle loss and the recurring lingering opportunistic infections that would later come to be associated with AIDS, while those willing to commit to the healthier lifestyle could regain their health in about a year. It was with this background that Null established Tri-State Healing Center in Manhattan in 1980, staffing a facility that would eventually run to 22 certified health professionals to offer safe, natural, and effective low and no cost treatments to thousands of patients with HIV and AIDS defining conditions. Null and his staff used variations of the protocols he had perfected with Kayan's patients. A multifunctional patient tailor tailored approach that included high dose vitamin C drips, intravenous ozone therapy, juicing, and nutritional improvements in supplementation, aspects of homeopathy and naturopathy with some traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic practices. Additional services all offered on site included acupuncture and holistic dentistry, while peer support groups were also held at the facility so that patients could find community and positive environment, healing their minds and spirits with their while they healed their bodies. Instead of trying to kill the virus, this is a quote. Instead of trying to kill the virus with antiretroviral pharmaceuticals designed to stop viral replication before it kills patients. We focused on what benefits could be gained by building up the patient's natural immunity and restoring biochemical integrity so the body could fight for itself. Null wrote in a 2014 article describing the philosophy behind the center's approach, which was wholly at odds with the pharmaceutical model. Patients were comprehensively tested every week with any recovery defined solely by the labs, which documented AIDS patients after patient, 12,000 of them, returning to good health and reversing their deliberating conditions. Null claims to have never lost an AIDS patient in the center's care, even as the death toll for the disease and its pharmaceutical standard of care, AZT, reached an all-time high in the early 1990s. Eight patients who had opted for a more intensive course of treatment, visiting the center 6 days a week rather than one, actually deconverted with repeated subsequent testing showing no trace of HIV in their bodies. Man, come on, fam. Come on, fam. Come on, fam. As an experienced clinical researcher himself, Noah recognized that any claims made by the center would be massively scrutinized, challenging as they did the prevailing scientific consensus that AIDS was an incurable terminal illness. He freely gave his protocols to any medical practitioner who asked, understanding that his own work could be considered scientifically valid only if others could replicate it under the same conditions. After weeks of daily observational visits to the center, Dr. Robert Carhart took the protocols back to San Francisco, where he excitedly reported that patients were no longer dying in his care. Null's own colleague at the Institute of Applied Biology, senior research fellow Alina Avram, set up IV drip rooms in the institute and used his extensive protocols to deconvert 10 patients over a 2 year period. While the experiment have been conducted in secret as the institution has been funded by Big Pharma since its inception half of a century early. Abram had hoped she would be able to publish a journal article to further publicize Noah's protocols and potentially help AIDS patients who were still dying at incredibly high rates, thanks to Burroughs' welcomes noxious but profitable AZT. But as she would later explain in 2019 letter to Noah, the groundbreaking research never made it into print, despite meticulous documentation of the successes, because the Institute's director and the board feared that pharmaceutical benefactors would withdraw the funding on which, come on, man, this shit dead, bro. Motherfuckers is avoiding curing shit because of lack of funding. They don't want to get shut down. They don't want to lose their jobs. Come on, bro. You think Dr. Sebi the first person who said he cured AIDS? No. A bunch of people said they cured AIDS. Now here go another person that's in the open say, man, we reversed. They said they had AIDS. We tested them. Unlike Sabi, we tested them. We say they had AIDS. We treated them, and now we say they don't have AIDS. Come on, man. And then look how they said they was healing them. Naturopathy, homeopathy, vitamin C drips, a change in diet. The same shit Dr. Sabi was saying. It's truth to that shit, man. It's truth to that shit. But these medical institutions run on funding. They run on funding. So yeah, we let you Do this. Play with that. Oh, you need some money for that? Bet. No, we need some money to look into this homeopathic way of curing AIDS. Nah, we're not investing in that. Do it on your own. But we got $100 million if you want to work with this synthetic vitamin C that we got over here. Come on, man. What are we doing? Dr. Sebi, a fucking snake oil salesman, man. And so many people just running with the shit too. What the fuck did he do to y'all? Give me one. I didn't bought some of his products. Goldminer bought some of his products. Tenjon had some of his products. She already gave her testimony of how she got healed. She said she would have been dead if it wasn't for Dr. Sadie. And I believe her uncle. Yeah. And they still doing it to this day on US soil. Come on, man. What the fuck did Dr. Sadie do to y'all, man? He said he cured AIDS, some crackers said he did, and y'all listen to them because they the FDA. They the AMA. Well, we don't recognize you as this, and so you're not that. We'll prove I'm not. We can't, but we don't have to recognize you. And this is an award-winning motherfucker. They said they got high levels of documentation. Man, we reversed HIV in people with natural shit. Nah, man, we got AZT. This is a chemical compound that make them feel sick, but they live longer. And we're gonna fund you if you push this. But if you push that, you gonna come out your own motherfucking pocket to keep your school open. We would have been did our thing, man, if it weren't for big pharma, weren't for capitalism. But would Sabi a snake oil salesman? No, no, no. Where? In your heart, in your unresearched heart, and you're believing what somebody else said as heart? This nigga said, I know he lost the court case. Now think about that. He's built his case. He has a premise, a three-part premise. He said he's the snake oil salesman based on the court cases, the testimonies, and the way people responded to him. On the panel, he destroyed the court cases. I said, what court cases? He said the court case where he got sued for making false claims. I said, okay. You know he won that. I said, you talking about the old case in 1987? Or this a newer one? He said, I only know of one case. I said, well, you know he won that case. I said, you think he lost that case? He said, I know he lost that case. I said, he did? He said, yeah, but he won that case. So the first part of his premise is destroyed. Second part, testimony. You can't find one testimony of nowhere on the internet of people saying Dr. Sebi shit is bullshit. You can't. I found one white woman who said, can Dr. Sebi shit cure my HIV? I said, what the fuck does that mean? But if you look for the testimony after testimony after testimony, people saying, I fucked with Dr. Sebi. I went to the USA Research Center and I'm better. Blindness, paralysis, herpes, um, diabetes, HIV, eczema, lupus. That's what I'm talking about. He won the case. The case that we talking about is the criminal case. Nobody gives a fuck about the civil case. The civil case is simply you used our verbiage in the newspaper print, medicine and cure. He didn't lose a lawsuit for fraud. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. The practicing without a medicine, if convicted, would have led to the fraud case. They lost that. He had to pay $9 in a civil case for using the word cure in a newspaper. That's it. Because there's certain patents on certain words. And let me see if I could bring that up. Yeah, man. No, man. Mm. It says the word cure cannot be patented because a patent protects an invention, not a word. While a specific method or invention related to cure might be patentable, the word itself is subject to patent. The word itself is not subject to patent and may be trademarked for a specific product or service and is distinctful. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, yeah, man. By FDA regulations, he used words wrong, and they don't like that, and so they wanted $900. That nigga gave them $900 out of his motherfucking pocket, man. Hey, man, take this bullshit, dog. Take this bullshit, dog. All right, hold on. That sound like somebody knocking on my door. My bad. Okay, my bad. Mm, Okay, here we go. I listen. Into several companies that Exxon. Now, when these companies got broken down, John Rockefeller was trying to figure out these hands into this. Now he explaining to you how Rockefeller and his money changed how we came from basically homeopathic, naturopathy healing system to the system that we got now. That tries to tell you your diet has nothing to do with your fighting diseases and shit. One of the things that he discovered in his own business, which was the science discovery. Okay. Now, I know this is really we're discovering something. So, first vitamin Moses, the intro round and rebuttal round. Shit. Why? Petrochemicals to create these things that can be sold to people in healthcare. Okay. Well, that's what the fuck he said. Testimonials. He said on the testimonies. What testimonies? What testimonies? You just gonna agree with Big Pharma that the way we heal things don't heal things anymore? Hmm? Act like it's not a money grab? And you can't bring 70 placebo effect motherfuckers to court. Now that's 70 people who went and saw a doctor who's a scientist of some kind, said they had this. They got recorded motherfucking documentation that they fucked with Sebi in his treatment, and then they got documentation from doctors who are scientists saying they don't have it anymore. Come on, man. Out medicine. You went to Carnegie, and Carnegie linked him up with the guy who created what is known today as a flexion report itself alone changed everything that we know in the medical industry. This report essentially was the cause of almost 50% of all medical schools closing in the US and pretty much 90% of all black schools closing in the US. Okay. And essentially what the idea of the report was to centralize medicine and also to make sure that the only things that will be handed out from practitioners of medicine was going to be patented drugs. Okay. And that was one of the things that Rockefeller really put his money into because he donated about $100 million. So think about this. Him donating $100 million in the early 1900s. I have a figure of what that would be worth today. Pretty much assure you that that will be close to somewhere near, if not $1 billion, at least close. And so he put $100 million into this. Okay. Part of what the $100 million was going to do was act as grants with these schools. So now, when you went to a pharmacist before Rockefeller did this, the pharmacist would use herbs to heal you. But because he had these synthetic vitamins in his petrochemicals coming from his oil company, he wanted to create a medical field that focused on that and looked at the medical field that we were standing on as the competitor. So he dumped $100 million into this, came up with this dumbass paper, the Flexner Report, where it said people should start using the patented drugs. People can only use the patented drugs. Should use the patented drugs. So now you can speculate. Rockefeller also paid Congress, and the Congress started passing laws saying, yeah, you can only use these patented drugs, not the natural stuff, because the natural stuff is free or cheap. But so now we got a way to charge you a whole bunch of money for something just because I actually own it. You can only get it from me, and I can sue you if you use it. But you can't sue me if I go get a rutabaga plant and it cures something. If you go get a rutabaga leaf and it cures something, anybody could go get that leaf and cure something. So 50% of the medical institutions couldn't afford to stand up by themselves on herbology, naturopathy, homeopathy. 90% of black medical institutions couldn't. So that dramatically lowered the amount. It killed the black medical institution and cut the other medical institution in half. And those people who agreed to, hey, I'll start using your patented drugs, got grants, quote unquote, grants, funding, and everybody else got devoured. Practice medicine in the way that the Flexner Report said that they should practice medicine.
And one of the primary schools that were used as an example was John Hopkins
John
University.
Hopkins.
Okay. And so schools that were compliant with practicing medicine in the way that the Flexner report told them that they should practice medicine, these are the schools that got funding. The schools that refuse to practice medicine in that way. And what I mean by practice medicine in the way do, and I'm surmising, but essentially what it wanted it to do was remove everything that herbs, no using Reiki healing, no using chiropractic, no using acupuncture, no using anything holistic. The only thing that you can use were these patented drugs. Okay. And as a result, this new wave of thinking around healing began. Because now all new practitioners were coming into the wave of prescribed therapy. Prescribed therapy only through drugs, as opposed to prior to this time, you know, we use multiple sort of modalities to heal. You know, whether it be sun therapy, sitting on the sun, whether it be changing the diet, whether it be, you know, mental therapy, whatever it may be. Before there was this sort of holistic approach to healing, and now it was only use drugs, use therapies, only approved through the flex report. And schools became almost obligated to follow this because many of them were bankrupt. You know, by having to create new laboratories at the school, bankrupt by having to create new standards at the school that they weren't able to uphold. You know, because a lot of the student attendance dropped as well because there was also new standards, which and I will admit is pretty good. Whatever new standards on what it would take to become a practitioner. Okay, and so it made it very difficult, and it made it damn near impossible to include natural therapy in the hospital setting. Okay, and this is how the war on medicine truly began. And the reason why it was a war on medicine is because of this. It's not that the natural therapies didn't work. It was the real issue was that natural therapies are cheap. And what I mean by that is all drugs have to be patented. You can't patent anything that is natural. You understand that you can't patent anything that is natural, that is of nature. But what you can do is take a chemical, let's say a plant called foxglove. Okay, you take the active ingredient that is inside foxglove. That let's say for instance, you can use foxglove, a plant, you know, for heart arrhythmia or for a heart effect. Okay, and what you would do is instead of using foxglove, which back in the day somebody could easily go into the back of their yard and find, or on a farm and find, you know, for cheap. Now what you do is you take the active ingredient that causes the effect or the therapeutic effect, and you create a synthetic version of it. And that synthetic version, because it's not real, because it's not nature, can actually be patented. And then you can call it a drug. And now you can sell this for whatever you want to sell it for because it's your patent. Okay, that's essentially where the war on drugs began because of the issue of the difference between something that is natural, you can go find out in nature, that's cheap, okay, versus something that is synthetic and is a knockoff version of plants because most drugs were made from plants. They just were the synthetic derivative of those plants. Okay, now having this conversation with you today to help you understand why there's been so much censorship around medical information today. You know, what has become very popular in the last couple of years is using food as medicine. People like Dr. Sebi and others have made it popular, and not only popular, but trendy to use food as medicine, to use herbs as medicine. And because it's become so popular and so widely accepted, whereas in the past, you know, like you mentioned using food as medicine, people would laugh you out of the room, but now you actually have real life examples of people changing their diets and literally reversing conditions in their bodies. And so because it's become so popular, now this war on natural medicine has grown and become inflamed. And so influencers like myself and others are sort of being shadow banned and unfortunately being sort of put at the lower end of the total goal when it comes to organic reach, as opposed to the last couple of years, you know, we'll be getting 3, 4, and maybe 5,000 followers a month. Now I'm only getting 500 or 1,000 followers. What's important for you to know and understand is that
Yeah, man. Took you something. Joking. But yeah, Domo, you can't win this, bro. You can't win this. You cannot win this. You cannot win this. Court cases, testimonies, and the way that people responded to him. He won the court case. He was acquitted. He won the court case. Won the court case. Testimonies. We got hella testimonies that he helped people and the way people responded to him. You mean like Left Eye, Michael Johnson, Michael Jackson, T.I.P., Nipsey Hussle, Nick Cannon. You mean how these people responded to him? How did they respond to him? Not negatively. Sorry. Look at it. Ginger ale, she get her medicine, her natural medicine. Mm-hmm. I know. Because it heals. A natural way of healing. Ginger ale. But yeah, man. That way you can't beat this guy. I don't know what you gonna do. And everybody's adopting. or getting back into it. Like the people who are already into natural ways of healing have nothing bad to say about Sebi. The people that's looking into it and converting to it has nothing to say bad about Sebi. And it's blowing up again. You know how many natural herbologists, nutritionalists are saying, hey, we can fight disease, cure disease. And they still making the claim to this day. Sebi was making the claim he cured AIDS till he died. His daughters, his wives are still saying, we cure AIDS. He cured AIDS. And now here's another example in the case of, what's his name? Something Noah, Gary Noah, saying, hey, me and some of my colleagues have documentation, repeatable experiments of people reversing HIV in a clinical environment, but people will not fund it. We moved away from the natural way of healing ourselves, depending on John D. Rockefeller and the guys, and now we're sicker than ever, fucked up and fucked over, and now we're running back to nature, and people have a problem with it because if the white man didn't make it, it ain't no good. But the white men are the nutritionists. You got plenty of white people that's nutritionists saying, hey, if you want to give yourself a better chance of winning this fight with whatever ailment you got fast, change your diet, and look into homeopathic and naturopathic ways of healing. I mean, you dead, bro. You died in your interview, my nigga. You died in your interview, my nigga. So yeah, go ahead and look up what fallacy. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Yeah, man. All right. Let's see, man. We shall see. Blue, what you on, man? I'll see what's up, man. When we get this date set, I don't know. Mm, I don't know, bro. I'm thinking of how you can do it. I'm looking up your what's the name, and then the nigga misthrew slippery slope fallacy. He said it was a slippery slope when I said they got documented to have AIDS, they got treated by Sebi, and then they went and got documented to not have AIDS. He said that's a slippery slope. Slippery slope is arguing that a seemingly small first step will inevitably lead to a series of negative consequences without sufficient evidence. That's a slippery slope. I don't get it, man. I'm hoping he come through, man. Uh, we'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe he'll, hold it down for y'all and come through. Maybe he'll do something. Maybe he'll do something. And I see a definition. What's this? Cambridge University snake oil salesman. Someone who deceives people in order to get money from them. Show me what he was deceiving people, man. Please. What was Dr. Sebi deceiving people to get money? The nigga will help people for free. He started out helping people for free. It wasn't all about the money with him. I gotta stop this, man. Y'all have to stop this. Y'all have to be stopped. Shout out to Blue. Y'all have to be stopped. That nigga say some shit, boy. Y'all have to be stopped, man. Tell me where Sebi is the motherfucker. I'm waiting. I know y'all looking. I know y'all Googling. Y'all thought this shit was an easy wrap up for Domo, did y'all? Was Dr. Samuel Snuggle? Hell yeah. Show me where he misled y'all to make money, man. And the shit he's saying is true. The products he's selling is true. They went to court. It couldn't be proven by the Supreme Court judge. Domo damn sure ain't gonna be able to prove it. And they make the laws. They make the words. And they say, you know what? You ain't doing that, but you did wear our lab coat. So I guess we can get some money about your ass. Mm-hmm. I was fascinated. Yeah, that's sick. That is sick for someone to be this deep down the white man's rabbit hole that Dr. Sebi is a snake oil salesman, but Obama is flawed but necessary. What? Shout out to GQ. He said that shit was in reverse. Obama was a snake oil salesman. He the motherfucker didn't drink the water in Flint, Michigan and acted like he was. Y'all remember that shit? Let me see if I can find that shit. Let me see if I can find that shit. Man. Let me see. Let me see. Uh, Here you go. Hold on, fam. Here you go. Hold on. Damn, my bad, yeah. I don't got my two screens on my one thing be in front of the other. I probably have to change some settings. All right, here we go.
All good? All set? It's useful to remember, just to keep things in perspective, that the laws banning lead paint in homes and reducing the lead that was in our environment, uh, those laws really were put in place just a generation ago. When I was
There you go.
in the larger rally. It is. There you go. Generally I have not been doing stunts here, but, and this used a filter. The water around this table. Generally I have not been doing stunts here, but,
That nigga
and
did not drink that much
this
water.
used a filter. The water around this table, was Flint water that was filtered. And it just confirms what we know scientifically, which is that.
And then here go the other one.
Not a stunt. You need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
That nigga
Now,
ain't drinking
I'm
that
going to talk
shit,
about this.
man.
Everybody settle down. This is a feisty crowd.
That's a snake oil salesman. That nigga snake oil sold Flint, Michigan that bogus ass water. That nigga snake oil sold Flint, Michigan some dumb ass water. They said drink it. That nigga put that glass to his lips and pulled that motherfucker away. Dr. Sebi took his own products and then would sit up here and fall on his goddamn knees as an 87-year-old man just to show you, nigga, I'm good. I'm good because of how I'm eating, how I'm living. I cured myself and I'm curing other people. He cured his wife. Hey, niggas is sick, man. Obama was flawed but necessary, and Sebi is the snake oil salesman. But what was Michael Eric Dyson is your what do you call it? Big homie. God damn, we got to do better than this. Kanye is disgusting. Hey, yo, I like that. Mhm. Huh? Mhm. What you want? What's all you want? I'm the greatest motherfucker debater on earth. You know I'm gonna whoop this nigga's ass. Domo, you are dead, man. You have nobody, bro. It is over with, man. I'm challenging anybody. This for anybody, man. Come on, bring the argument. What was Dr. Sebi a motherfucking snake on yourself, man? That's crazy. That's crazy. Domo, we gotta do better than this with each other, man. I can't, uh, I can't let you get away with this, big homie. Big homie. No, you wanna get away with this one, man? That's this. You wanna get away with this one, man? Anybody bring any type of argument, man. Please. Somebody come have Domo. Nobody? Uh, okay. Oh no, dog. Hello? Like Dumbo, man. What's up, dog? Y'all good? No, we was City King Dr. Savvy in the nuts, man, for a little while. That's what I thought. I know he would have wish he would have got me on another shit. On something else. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I want. I want that nigga to hit that night. Don't worry about nothing. Yeah, let me see. It's just in the early 1900s, John D. Rockefeller and his affiliates pushed to introduce licensing laws for medical practitioners that basically illegalized natural medicine. They illegalized natural medicine with licensing laws. Let's go back to the time in the 1800s. John D. Rockefeller, the head of the Rockefeller family, had just become very rich through extracting oil from the ground. Now he is looking for ways to capitalize his oil, and he comes across the idea of using coal tar, a petroleum derivative, to make substances that affect the human mind, body, and nervous system. Yes, these drugs are excellent at masking or stopping symptoms, but overall do not cure the underlying cause of a disease. Rockefeller then bought out the part of the massive German pharmaceutical cartel IG Farben. This was the very same cartel that would later assist Hitler by manufacturing chemicals for poisonous war. Now armed with the ingenious idea of petroleum drugs, he wanted to eliminate the competitors of his newfound investment. So he hired a man called Abraham Flexner to submit a report to Congress in 1910. Thank you, man. The report concluded that there were too many doctors and medical schools in America, and that all the other healing methods, which had existed for hundreds or thousands of years, were unscientific quackery. Unfortunately, Congress acted upon the conclusions and made them law. Incredibly, modern medicine became the standard, even though its three main methods of treatment in the 1800s have been bloodletting surgery and injection of toxic heavy metals like lead and mercury to supposedly displace disease. From then on, it was downhill for the alternative methods that were reported repeatedly and consistently suppressed by the larger powers at play. Mm-mm. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hell no, now peep this out. Now peep this out. Now peep this out. Can y'all peep this out? Can y'all listen to this? It said, I will lean heavily upon Cherno's biography, Titan, The Life of John D. Rockefeller. It says, one, the story starts with Rockefeller's upbringing. Rockefeller's father was anybody want to guess? Can somebody in the chat guess? Can somebody in the chat guess what he was? Can anybody in the chat guess what this book is saying John D. Rockefeller father was? Please. Can I get somebody just type it in the chat right quick, man? Anybody? Now that's just funny. This might not got nothing to do with the motherfucking debate. But if I'm just mauling this nigga, this is if I can set this up right, this is definitely the most. All right, man. All right, anybody gonna type it in the chat? John D. Rockefeller's father, William Avery Rockefeller, was a traveling snake oil salesman who sold fraudulent medical cures and lived a double life, including being a bigamist and a con artist, known as Devil Bill. He posed as a deaf-mute peddler and hawked herbal remedies while also operating under the alias Dr. William Livingston. The deceptive lifestyle, which included fathering children with his wife housekeeper and his secret second wife, was a formative influence of young John D. Rockefeller. He posed as a medical doctor. William Rockefeller presented himself as Dr. William Livingston, an eye and ear specialist, to lend credibility to his sales pitch. He was known for selling miracle drugs and botanical cures, which were fraudulent remedies for various ailments. God damn. God damn. Was Dr. Sebi, Domo saying that Dr. Sebi was a snake doctor. And the culture that was created to purposely throw that his way of healing out of the way was fathered by somebody who was fathered by somebody who was a snake doctor. A snake doctor raised the nigga that created the medical field that would lead to Dr. Sebi being called a snake doctor. Wait till I get that bar. That's a bar. The reason why Dr. Sebi and people like Dr. Sebi is being called a snake doctor is because we don't have faith in herbal healing, natural healing, motherfucking acupuncture, meditation, shit like that, natural shit that's cheap and don't cost nothing. And we know the money is coming from Rockefeller. He's funding the medical schools. 50% of the medical schools, that would, man, come on, man. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all gotta hear what I'm saying. Beginning in the 1900s, all medical institutions are using naturopathy, herbalism, nutritionalism, homeopathy, naturopathy, ways to heal the sick, to confront disease and illness. This dude dumps $100 million. The person who the person who father pretended to be a doctor had a whole William Livingston identity out there. I wonder where he got this idea from. I wonder where he got this idea from. If your father is a hustler like that, he made it big. You was a snake oil salesman, traveling snake oil salesman. He had a housekeeper. John D. Rockefeller father blew up. Let me see, where did he make his money from? I should already know this. Let me see, man. That's what I want to see. Wait, this is my phone. William Avery Rockefeller. Let me look that whole ass up. American businessman. Do you hear me? I put his name in, William Avery. I put in R. It said Rockefeller. American businessman. William Goodsdale's son. American businessman is what this motherfucker called this nigga. William Avery Devil Bill Rockefeller Sr., 1810, died 1906, was an American businessman, lumberman, herbalist. He was a herbalist or a fake herbalist, salesman, and a con artist. It said con artist who went by the alias Dr. William Livingston. He worked as a lumberman and then a traveling salesman who identified himself as a botanic physician and sold elixirs. He was known to buy and sell houses or horses. He was also known at one point to have bought a barge load of salt in Syracuse. Land speculation was another type of his business, and selling of elixirs served to keep him with cash and aided in the scouting of land deals. He loaned money to farmers at 12%, but tried to lend to farmers who could not pay so as to foreclose and take farms. Two of his sons were Standard Oil co-founder John D. Rockefeller and William Avery Jr. This a dirtbag motherfucker. This a dirtbag motherfucker. And his kids ain't shit neither. Hell no. That is so crazy. And so it said, uh, oh shit, it said on July 26, 1849, in the city of Auburn, New York, William, his father, John D. Rockefeller's father, was indicted for rape which had occurred at gunpoint. His victim had worked in a Rockefeller household. Her name was Anne Vanderbeek. In her 1905 book, Memoirs of an American Citizen, Robert Herrick says an improper relationship had been rumored to exist. The court document reads that William A. Rockefeller, late of the town of Morivia, in the county of Cayuga, on the first day of May in the year of the Lord 1848, with force and arms at the town of Morivia in said county, and upon Anne Vanderbeek and the peace of God with the people of the state New York, then and there being violently did make an assault on her. The said Anne Vanderbeek then and there make violently and against her will, feloniously, feloniously, feloniously. Is that how you spell felonious? Did ravage and carnally know William Cooper, the Rockefeller family doctor, was indicted. Damn, that motherfucker said citation needed. Man. And but this motherfucker raped his housewife, and his son went on to become the founders of Standard Oil. I wonder how that shit happened. Like shit. Why did you do that? Oh, fuck. Uh, John D. Rockefeller was an American businessman and philanthropist. He was one of the wealthiest Americans of all time and one of the richest persons in modern history. Rockefeller was born into a large family in upstate New York who moved several times before eventually settling in Cleveland, Ohio. He became an assistant bookkeeper at age 16 and went into several business partnerships beginning at age 20. Concentrating his businesses on oil refining. Rockefeller founded the Standard Oil Company in 1870. Damn, how the fuck old was he? What's that? 30? That nigga was 29. He founded the Standard Oil Company in 1870 at 29. You know, that's his dad putting him on game. He ran it until 1897 and remained its largest shareholder. In his retirement, he focused his energy and wealth on philanthropy, especially regarding education, medicine, higher education, and modernizing the southern United States. God damn. Rockefeller's wealth grew substantially as kerosene and gasoline became increasingly important commodities, eventually making him the richest person in the United States by 1900. Standard Oil, oh damn. Standard Oil controlled about 90% of the nation's oil production. The company lowered production costs and expanded oil distribution through corporate and technological innovations, but it also benefited from a large environment that enabled consolidation. Critics argue that regulatory capture played a role in facilitating in its monopoly power. A few reinforced Rockefeller's reputed remark, competition is a sin. Damn. Rockefeller's company and business practices came under criticism, particularly in the writings of author Ida Tarbell. The Supreme Court ruled in 1911 that Standard Oil must be dismantled for violation of federal antitrust laws. It was broken up into 34 separate entities, which included companies that became ExxonMobil, Chevron, and others, some which remain among the largest companies by revenue worldwide. Consequently, Rockefeller became the country's first big. Sequently, consequently, Rockefeller became the country's first billionaire, with a fortune worth nearly 2% of the national economy. His personal wealth was estimated in 1913 at 900 million, which was almost 3% of the U.S. gross domestic product of 39.1 billion that year. Rockefeller spent much of his last 40 years of his life in retirement. Some shit. Yeah, all right. Hold on. Rockefeller was the founder of the University of Chicago, Rockefeller University, and funded the establishment of the Central Philippine University in the Philippines. He was a devout mainly and Baptist Christian. Let me see, philanthropist. Rockefeller charitable giving began with his first job as a clerk at age 16 when he gave 6% of his earnings to charity, as recorded in his personal ledger. By the time he was 20, his charity exceeded 10% of his income. Much of his giving was church related. His church was later affiliated with the Northern Baptist Convention, which formed from American Baptists in the North to ties to their historic some shit to establish schools and colleges for freedmen in the South. And black people. A free man or free woman is a person who has been released from slavery. So Rockefeller's much of his giving was church related. His church was later affiliated with the Northern Baptist Convention, which was formed from American Baptists in the North, with ties to their historic missions to establish schools and colleges for freedmen in the South after the American Civil War. Rockefeller attended Baptist churches every Sunday. Who else did he get? That's what I'm trying to see. Rockefeller's wealth grew so that his giving primarily educational and public health causes. Rockefeller believed in the efficiency movement, arguing that to help an efficient, ill-located, unnecessary school is a waste. It is highly probable that enough money has been squandered on unwise educational projects to have built up a national system of higher education adequate to our needs if the money had been properly directed to that end. In 1884, Rockefeller provided major funding for Atlanta Baptist Female Seminary in Atlanta for African American women. Hey, hey, man. His wife, Laura Spelman Rockefeller, was dedicated to civil rights and equality for women. John and Laura donated money. Man, if I could make this nigga stand on John D. Rockefeller being for black rights, was dedicated to civil rights and equality for women. John and Laura donated money and supported the Atlanta Baptist Female Seminary, whose mission was aligned with their faith-based beliefs. These motherfuckers paid for y'all ass to be Christian. Domo is paid by John D. Rockefeller to be a Christian. That nigga Domo really match like this shit really match him. That's why he didn't have to think about that shit. He thought about shit he said, but he knew what he was gonna say. He's like, it's gonna a snake oil salesman. Now here we are with the son of a snake oil salesman funding the education of newly freed slaves in the South, newly freed black people in the South, the son of a motherfucking rapist and snake oil salesman, funded the education of newly freed black people in the South and invested in and created their medical field. Lord Spelman Rockefeller was dedicated to civil rights and equality for women. John and Laura donated money and supported the Atlanta Baptist Female Seminary, whose mission in line with their faith-based belief. Spelman College, the all-woman historically black college in Atlanta, was named after Laura's family, was heavily supported by Rockefeller. The Spelman family Rockefeller in-laws were ardent abolitionists before the Civil War and were dedicated to supporting the Underground Railroad. Rockefeller was impressed by the vision of the school and paid off the school's debt. The oldest existing building is Spelman campus. Rockefeller Hall is named after him. Rockefeller also gave considerable donations to Denison University and other Baptist colleges. Rockefeller gave 80 million to the University of Chicago under William Rainey Harper, turning the small Baptist college into a world-class institution in 1900. And Rockefeller's General Education Board, founded in 1903, was established to promote education at all levels everywhere in the country, in keeping with historic missions of the Baptists. It was especially active in supporting. That's why that nigga, you take your black ass to school and be a motherfucking Christian and say Dr. Sebi is a motherfucking psycho yourself. That's what happened to you. Huh? Hey, this nigga brainwashed, man, by John Rockefeller and William Rockefeller. Domo is brainwashed by William Rockefeller. This shit is crazy. People, people, people. Domo is brainwashed by William Rockefeller, a snake oil salesman who son, under my suspicion, under advisement from his father, funded the Baptist based education of black people. So if you wanted to go to school, you got to go to a Baptist school. Oh yeah, I put money into schools that are Baptist, that send a motherfucker to church, that choose to be a Christian for political reasons. It ain't even him, man. It's his education. It ain't even him. I don't even blame him. He was miseducated. He was educated as a Christian in these religious ass institutions. And he came up out of that motherfucker talking about Dr. Sebi was a goddamn snake oil salesman. That is so fucking amazing. Our tax money, hard at work, turning black people into motherfucking Obama loving Sebi haters. Man, this really gotta stop, man. Man, I can't wait till motherfucking Psycho go live. Man, what's up, man? Domo. And I know you hear me, because your pride won't let you slide. Domo, the link is pinned at the top, man, if you want to talk about this. Because was Dr. Sebi a snake on his ass? No. But the mentality that created a black man, the institution that will create the mentality that he was a snake oil salesman, or pretty much anybody who practiced herbalism and natural ways to heal and cure things. That mindset was born directly out of the destruction of the American medical institutions. Him dumping $100 million into schools that would switch over to using his patented medicines destroyed the herbalists who healed people and cured illnesses for cheap and free because things just happen to grow like that. But here you got somebody with an agenda who want to turn the mentality against herbalists so that you will pay $200 for a fucking sugar pill with a little bit of plant in it when you could just be fucking with the nigga that got the plant. These motherfuckers that turned you away from the nigga that got the plant, made a synthetic version of the plant, and then sold it to you. And the synthetic not better than the real. It just it just has enough to keep the symptoms going away every now and then. They say, no, don't put that much in there, because if you put that much in there, the process will actually reverse. Just put enough in there so that they feel it. They know something happened. Well, I did get better. I better keep taking that pill. No, find the plant that that pill is a synthetic version of and go heal your motherfucking self. Stop playing with these hoes. That they say, we can't tell you what's in there because we have laws established where you cannot reverse engineer our drugs, our patented drugs. So we can't tell you what's in there because that would allow you to replicate it. I'm like, where the fuck is you at, man? And what the fuck is you doing? You done made this more than a debate, man. You done made this more of a damn debate. The mentality that will make a motherfucker call Dr. Sebi a snake oil salesman came out of the nuts of a snake oil salesman. You goofy, educated, political motherfucker. And you think you gonna drag Dr. Sebi like that? You think you gonna drag Dr. Sebi like that? Nigga, why? Nigga, why I oughta? Yes. Domo. Yeah, we all talking to you, nigga. We all wanna know this by now, nigga. What, We all want to know now. It ain't even just me. It's a million motherfuckers that look just like me. Y'all want to know what the fuck a mentality of a black man in 2025. Now to look at somebody as great as Dr. Sebi and publicly say he's a snake on himself. Where that shit comes from? Where that shit come from? You thought he lost that case, didn't you? I only know of one case. Hold on, hold on. You gonna get this work, fam. You gonna get this work. Hold on.
Brothers and sisters, let me say, space, place, it's where time stops. It's me, everything that I've heard, read, talked about with other people. You have to go there and see people there with the most loving and caring. Dr. Sebi is the staff with the gracious. It's definitely outlined. People see lots of '09 as we call it. And we got the thermal waters, water, state of waters are getting the waters. You feel good. The nitrogen, it takes care of it. Experience it.
That nigga said anything.
We got the thermal waters, water, everything that the state of waters are, the human waters, therapeutic. You feel good, relaxes you, anything, takes care of you. I'm a witness. I experienced it. I didn't just talk about it. I really said I experienced it. I experienced it. I saved it, which I did. I saved the whole year to make the trip. It's affordable. Like if you went to Cancun or any other resorts, you can afford to go to Costa Villas. It's worth doing. It's experiencing a lifetime. To maybe the home in this place. I'm going to you know, anywhere you know, Facebook, Google, friends, social grounds, please, go to Booster Village. You know anybody?
We got testimony after testimony, man.
Roger Hudson. Before I came here, my mother told me she lost her mind. She pretty much had a connection. When she found out Sebi didn't go to school and he's being called a doctor, she lost her mind because of that. But then she seen videos and she seen my progress. She heard me, and the proof is in the pudding. Because I wasn't talking like this before. I wasn't talking. When I first came here, I couldn't talk really. I couldn't conversate. I could talk, but I couldn't conversate. I couldn't defend myself in an argument with a 2-year-old, pretty much. But this place did. This place did. It's this water. It's water.
Man, how much you took the weeks ago? Man? Let me see. Let me see. How much you took to Usha Village? Let me say, not Tusha Village. What the fuck? I bet it is a Tusha Village. Shout out to the Tushans. Let me see. Usha Village. Uh, all right. Man, let me do this on a computer. Hold on. I'm sitting at the bar. I'm like, man, let me go. This nigga got me drunk. I just opened my can. Y'all heard it. So I ain't been drunk this whole time, but my bad, baby. Let me see. Let me share that to my man. And then let me share that to you, please. Domo, you can't win this, bro. All right, here we go. Usha Village by Dr. Sebi. We are delighted to have you here, stepping into the world of natural healing and holistic wellness. At Usha Village, we strive to provide a sanctuary where you can embark on a transformative journey towards optimal health and validity. Man, shout out to Dr. Sebi, man. Herbal supplements, the village, Dr. Sebi. Which one y'all want to go into first? Oh, look at that. Small cleansing package for him. Small cleansing package for her. Purify. Progressive cell cleansing and renewal package for him and for her. Journey to wellness. Dr. Sebi's Lucia Village, nestled in the lush tropical landscape of Honduras, is a renowned wellness retreat and healing center dedicated to the principles of natural healing, alkaline geothermal water, holistic healing, herbal supplements. Founded by the late Dr. Sebi, a prominent herbalist and healer, Lucha Village offers a transformative experience for individuals. I think I heard that. All individuals seeking to restore balance and vitality to their body. This secluded sanctuary embraces a holistic, they left out the E, and philosophy that focuses on nourishing the body with alkaline, plant-based foods and utilizing the power of the herbs and natural remedies to support the body's innate healing process. Now, this is their kind. This is their kind. This secluded sanctuary embraces a holistic philosophy that focuses on nourishing the body with alkaline, plant-based foods and utilizing the power of herbs and natural remedies to support the body's innate healing process. At Usha Village, guests can engage in the various healing modalities, including guided detoxification, protocols, nutritional counseling, herbal therapies, and therapeutic exercises. The village team up with a dedicated practitioner and staff members are committed to creating a supportive and nurturing atmosphere where individuals can receive personalized care and embark on a transformative journey towards optimal health. Man, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. Intake form. Let's switch that account. That's the intake form. Let me see. Uh, wait for the email. Complete payment. Wait for the email approval. Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna switch account. Okay, cool. I'm gonna fill this out. All right, let's go. Can y'all see that? Intake form. All right, okay. Uh, you want some food? What you want, chocolate? Okay, have me some chocolate. They said, please read the information. She said so bad. Please read the information thoroughly. Do not book any flights or place your deposit before prior authorization. All dates are subject to availability. Thank you for your interest in the Usha Wellness Village. The Usha Institute is in LA. Oh, not LA. In La Ceiba, Honduras, in Central America. Please take a moment and read this entire package. Fill out the attached form to begin the process. Please attach a copy of your passport and driver's license. I understand. Each application is reviewed thoroughly by admissions board. Approval. USHA has given strict guidelines to follow. This office will abide by those guidelines. At USHA, it's our goal to help you obtain optimal health results for the detox and health maintenance or the treatment of any pathology. To accurately, I'm seeing the money, girl. You hear me? Yeah. So let me see. To accurately compare your results, it's mandatory that you receive a consultation day after your arrival with the doctor that you must pay for out of pocket. The price of consultation is $50 US dollar, $50 and must be paid in cash. In the consultation, the doctor will explain the following steps that are mandatory that you follow while you are at the village, and the rates may vary depending on the recommendations, such as therapies, medical examinations, and these costs vary depending on which he recommends that you perform, and in specific cases, personalized assistance, all run for an extra charge. If you have any prescribed medication, you must bring it with you. When sending your intake form, you need to send the information of your prescription attached to this form as a PDF document or a picture of either side of your medical regimen, the most recent one. If you are a diabetic patient or suffer from blood pressure, you must bring the equipment necessary for your daily routine, such as wrist blood pressure monitoring glucometers with test strips, and you must bring your medication. You will receive response regarding your approval from the board via email. All decisions are left to the board's discretion and are final. Once you have received approval, you will still need to do the following. Approve email via admission board, check data availability, and get data approved by USHA, send complete payments. I have read all of that. I got you. Payment. You have the right to cancel your Usher Village experience at any time. However, please be aware of the following cancellation policy. Here at Usher Village, we have a strict cancellation policy. Once your application and dates have been approved, we require complete payment of your stay, non-refundable. In the instance you need to reschedule your booking, Usher will do the best to accommodate your request. All requests must be submitted in writing at least 30 days prior to the first day of your booking and rescheduled within 6 months of the original booking. The dates chosen are subject to availability, and we accommodate on the first come, first served basis with pre-approved dates and payment. You can make travel arrangements with the airline of your choice. Copy that. Unforeseen situations may present themselves to our guests. If those circumstances, situations, and occasions, we highly recommend that you purchase travel insurance to cover your assets. Usha Village is not responsible for any incidental expenses or consequential losses that the client may have incurred as a result of canceled bookings, such as visas, vaccinations, non-refundable flights or rail, non-refundable car parking, or other fees, loss of earnings, or loss of enjoyment, etc. In the instance you need to reschedule your booking, Usha will do its best to accommodate your request. All requests must be submitted in writing within 30 days prior to the first day of your booking and rescheduled within 6 months. Man, I read that. That ain't bad. Payment. Please choose one or two direct deposit, online payment deposit, made internet wire transfer. Okay, that's a whole bunch of shit. We will send you an invoice to your email or link of the invoice through WhatsApp so you can process your payment using credit debit card. While staying in Usha Village, cash is the only payment method we can accept to pay for any extra service. Deteriorated dollars are not accepted, real, written, or marked. We only accept those denominations at the village. Example, tens, fifties, and $100 bills. Direct deposit. Yeah, what the fuck? All payments and transactions are final. Once you are booked and notified, the village the space is already accounted for. All prices are final. We honor promotions from our official site. We do not assume any responsibilities if you are a victim of scam outside the Usha Village official site, WhatsApp, and social media. We would like to inform you that from now on, due to security policies, we will force a curfew by 4 p.m. At being latest 6 p.m. And as well, we fully recommend that all clients use taxi drivers that are trusted and trusted due to the security of yourself or the residents of Usha Village. We would like to let you know that all food being brought from outside of Usha Village is completely prohibited because it interrupts your diet and slows down your healing process. There will be a fine of $250. We will not assume any responsibility if you are victims of scam, misleading claims, fraudulent coupons, and the like outside of Usha Village official website, email, and WhatsApp. Man, I read that too. Let's keep going, man. It's fun. Man, yeah, I'm a US citizen, man. Airfare and transportation charges not included in your package. I got that. American Airlines and Virgin, I might take, man. Spirit about this motherfucker. I read that. Hold on. Okay. Still no Domo. All right. Don't worry about nothing, though. What to bring? Sabia has tropic weather, hot and humid. We have saunas, private thermal baths, and a pool, so you should bring clothes according to the facilities. We have Wi-Fi available. Hold on, let me see this screen. Oh God. Okay. All right. All right. And you can bring your Wi-Fi devices or reading material for your stay. If you have any prescribed medication, you must bring it with you. When sending your intake form, you need to send the information on your prescription attached to this form, PDF document, picture, and other shit they said on the other page. If you are diabetic, bring your shit. Since the village is close to the jungle, you will be exposed to nature. You should bring mosquito repellent, a lantern, and organic hygiene products such as soap, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, etc. What to expect? The village is used exclusively for offering treatments to our approved clients. The village is placed to disconnect from the rest of the world and receive treatment. This time is to help you meditate and make any necessary changes in your daily life. We recommend you exclusively use this time for healing. Following are the services included during your visit to the village. Room and accommodation, AC and Wi-Fi in your room, alkaline meals, breakfast, lunch, and sea moss for the evening, herbal cell food for cleansing, thermal water pool treatment, natural thermal saunas, security 24 hours, nurse assistants, herbal constellation, gym and laundry. While you are detoxifying, you will be on a specific diet, Dr. Sebi's alkaline diet. Visit the site, check out the nutritional guide. Alkaline breakfast that will usually be alkaline fresh fruits and alkaline prepared meals. Alkaline based lunch, pre-planned to work more effectively with the herbs to reverse diseases and their effects on the human bodies. All approved by Dr. Sebi's diet. The plates are normal size, and the menu of the day will be one for all the clients staying at the same time of your visit. We do not serve meals based on special requests. It is not a menu or buffet type restaurant. We are not a hotel or resort or restaurant. Fasting. You will start your fast in the afternoon with sea moss It provides 92 minerals and 104 minerals that your body is built of. It is considered the most powerful herb in the world, so make sure you don't miss it. It is mandatory that you visit the nurse's office to check your vital signs every day after breakfast. A nurse is available from 8 to 4, 6 to 6, Monday through Friday, Saturdays, and Fridays, skipping one. The nurses are there to give specific service, administer your herbal treatment daily, and help you in case of emergency. If you have critical situation or illness that requires medical attention, you have to hire the services of a separate nurse or doctor to be able to solve your needs. Additional expenses are not covered in the price of your stay. Severely ill patients and patients with eternal illnesses are required to purchase a nurse or additional services separately, not included in the price. If you are recommended to continue with your treatment at home, you can buy the treatment at Ucha Village from our website. Please keep in mind that this is a third world country. Every so often we experience power outages citywide, which may affect Wi-Fi access and power. Usha is equipped with backup generators and professionals to get you back up and running as soon as humanly possible. Man, I got you. Let's go. All right. Our prices are always subject to change, but most of the deals are subject to certain rules and regulations. Please keep in mind that there's a limited space available in the village and our spaces fill up fast. Prices in this document are official prices. We have different types of rooms and prices may vary according to your needs. We book starting weekly. Booking will start at 7 days and 6 nights. I'm more like it. This is fun. Hold on. My nigga. Shout out to you, Pro Black. And, following service, including your room. All right. Now, the regular rooms are furnished with one full size bed and are based on the daily rate of $357, 357 US dollars, 14 cent US dollars. So $2,500 per week per person. Children 3 years and younger pay $55 daily. 4 to 12 years old, $90 US dollars. 13 years old above pay $180 per day. Villas, VIP rooms. New villas are furnished with one full queen size bed and are based on a daily rate of $421.42 US dollars. That's 29, about 3 G's a week. Thank you, baby. About 3 G's a week. Uh, what's that? Our special villas have a unique rounded shape designed exclusively by Dr. Sebi. We chose to name them after some of the natural herbs he used. The Denamia lavender, the blue vervain villas are furnished with two full-size beds and are based on the daily rate of 785.71 US dollars per week, minimum 2 people. Children 3 and younger pay $60 daily, 4 to 12. Old is $100 daily, 13 years of age and above is $250 daily. Lily of the Valley is furnished with the king size bed and television. It has a daily rate of 1,000 US dollars. That's 7 G's a week, my nigga. Children 3 are underpaid US dollars, $120, $150 for 4 to 12, and 13 and up is $350. Please select which one I want. Regular. All right, let me see. Include the number of companions, if any. Later on the form, you will have to provide more. I should say two, but individuals are responsible for to accurately compare your results. It is mandatory that you receive consolation day fee, and we saw that. It is mandatory to have your medical examination, and mandatory that you submit and bring a copy of most recent medical records. It's mandatory that you pay out of pocket to provide a nurse. It's mandatory that you have any serious health. We saw that. And you have to be transferred to the hospital. Please become economically prepared because in Honduras there's no medical insurance or equipped public hospitals. You will have to visit a private hospital and you will start taking care of your expenses from transportation, admission to hospital, and everyone of your expense until you are discharged from the hospital. It is for this reason we highly recommend travel insurance. All this addition to what we pay for your stay. We should build it assumes no responsibilities for that shit. I got you, man. I'm right now, man. Please enter your information. All right, I got you. So yeah, I'm gonna do that later. You can't win this, Domo. All right, so there we go. Them all the cookies you bought? You went crazy, huh? Oh, okay. I was about to say. Yeah, Domo, this ain't your party, brother. Domo, like, yeah, I don't know, Domo. I just really don't know no more with you, bro. You are impossible, man. Domo, you know you are impossible, bro. Man. And then, man, come on, man. That's some wicked shit. This nigga John D. Rockefeller, father was a snake, or you said John D. Rockefeller fight against herbalism created the mindset that Domo had to say that Dr. Sebi is a snake on himself, and he's a snake on shit. So I just gotta get y'all motive, boy. Sometimes I just don't get y'all motive. Like I hear you, and then it be like, where did that come from? Oh, because the Rockefellers paid for the higher learning institute that Domo praised so much. Ain't that some shit? The Rockefeller family put up the money to educate black people in the way of Christianity and patented drugs, took them away from African spirituality and African medicine, took them away from indigenous spirituality and indigenous medicine. And now here he is calling Dr. Sebi a goddamn quack. Some nigga that's just hustling the people. What the whole entire fuck? Talk about brainwash, man. That's the problem with you educated motherfuckers, man. Y'all the ones holding this shit up, and it's against you the whole damn time. It's against you the whole damn time, and you the one holding this stupid shit up. And shout out to Jelly, man. What's good? Nah, this shit got so deep with this debate, man. You know that 6 degrees of separation. Like Domo saying Dr. Sebi is a snake oil salesman stems from the mentality that comes out of the schools that was funded by snake oil salesmen. That's some amazing shit. I don't even know how to downplay that. I don't even know how to act like that's not a motherfucking bar. What are we on right now? Yeah, 6 degrees. Man, listen. Now listen. Listen what I'm finna say. Dr. Sebi was called a snake oil salesman by Domo, right? Now, Dr. Sebi is an herbalist that didn't go to school, didn't breed. He was just raised by a black woman with no clothes on and just raised him in a certain fashion. Now, he quit his job as an engineer after being healed by an indigenous Latin American, right? So that's how he went crazy and started doing the healing shit. Now, where does the mentality of him being a snake oil salesman come from? Now, Pete Gang, John D. Rockefeller's father, William Rockefeller, was a snake oil salesman who used his money to fund his son's uh, opening of Standard Oil, which monopolized the oil business until a certain year when monopolies were banned and deemed illegal. So, while working in the petrol industry, the the petrochemicals, which leads to the development of synthetic vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, that can now be created or is found in petroleum, is they way they use that to establish a medical field that rival natural shit, right? So a snake oil salesman funded his kids' oil company. That oil company had access to these petrochemicals, used that to and their money, dumped $100 million into the development of the medical field in America, destroying 50% of the universities and 90% of the black universities as far as medical institutions. And then he started establishing and funding medical institutions that took on and prescribed and worked with his patented drugs, make medicine out of these patented drugs, not them herbs. So now herbalism, which was the dominant way of healing people, is now replaced with these synthetic patented drugs. Now, John D. Rockefeller takes his money and started investing into schools, colleges, universities for black people in the South, and they were Baptist schools. So now, Domo, who comes up out of these schools, educated in the mind of the Christian, paid board by John D. Rockefeller, whose father was a snake oil salesman, comes out of these schools with the mentality to call the urbanists, the people who were declared war on by John D. Rockefeller and his brother, a snake oil salesman. This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. The mentality that caused Dr. Sebi a snake oil salesman came out of the instructions of the coach that Dr. Sebi was in by a snake oil salesman. And literally says that about his dad. He called himself William Livingston or something like that. And just went around fooling people with shit. He used to fake deaf and blind. And he raped his housekeeper and she had a child by him. He raped her at gunpoint too. Found guilty. Now this is these are this man kids. These are this man kids. This man kids goes on to develop the medical landscape of America. If you use our synthetic vitamins to make drugs, we'll fund your school. But if you want to stay with that old herbalistic shit, you're on your own. That's crazy. Like that's some deep shit. That's some deep shit, man. That nigga Domo calling Dr. Sebi a smoke on the salesman because John D. Rockefeller told him to. Do what I say, boy. Boy, you better do what I say. Damn, Domo. That shit kind of wild. That's a hell of a timeline just to lead to this debate. Just to lead to that moment where you say, you know what? Spirit of John D. Rockefeller is finna shine. Dr. Sabi's a damn snake oil salesman. By that time, 100% of the United States medical uh medical institutions would have been snake oil institutions. They literally ran you away from natural ways of healing yourself into they synthetic versions. And now here you are going crazy, finna down the debate over it. Put out in the first motherfucking round. Yeah, thank you education for this one, buddy. The place that taught you to debate, taught you them Baptist views that got you calling Dr. Sabi a damn snake oil salesman. You don't want the type of dude that let a racist white person say something in front of him. And he's like, I'm not saying it because I'm racist. I'm saying it because it's true. And he'd be like, yeah, I understand. It is true. It is true. Yeah. Let's see. Welcome to capitalism, right? When you look into big pharma and its dedication to race medicinal healing techniques, you'll be surprised what you find. Many of the first medicine stems from mushrooms. Yeah, yeah. I was surprised when I found it. I definitely was. I definitely was. Like that shit, damn near not even a conspiracy theory. Like that shit is just out in the fucking open. Like, yeah, nah. I don't fuck with that shit. Boy, I tell you, when I tell you this is not your time to shine, Domo, I'm telling you, bro. You standing too close to the fire this time, my nigga. You came too far outside that university talking that shit. And you done slipped up and they got on your Charlie Kirk. Ain't no way you can win this, bro. There's no way you can win this, bro. There's no way you can fallacy your way out of this. You're not going. You're not going, brother. You're not going, brother. Damn you, Domo. You lined yourself up for the Karate Kid kick at the end of the movie, nigga. In the first round against Suave Boss. He's like, I'd feel better if it was 89 and 10. But Suave just a stupid nigga. Suave just a stupid nigga. All right, let's begin. Yeah, let's do one. Whatever you say, Domo. So I was just a dumb old nigga. I'm educated. I done went to college, graduated with honors, graduated with honors. Huh? Did you really graduate with honors? I know what the hell you can remember. You jumped out your motherfucking skin and said that shit, man. A snake on the sand. And the person who paid for you to have that mentality in them Baptist universities that you love so much, it's a person who shaped that thought. Right? Want to say that? Yeah. You damn pill popping animals. Pill popping animals. Syrup sipping niggas. Rockefeller and the gang and turned y'all into some pill popping animals. Serve center niggas. You supposed to be eating plants and drinking herbs. Well, pill popping animal, cough, syrup, sipping niggas. Shout out to education, man. Funded by John D. Rockefeller. For the purpose of educating niggas. So do we thank John D. Rockefeller? Like, do we owe John D. Rockefeller in the family for the many accomplishments that they made for progressing black education? I wonder if that's a conversation. I wonder if that's a conversation. Hmm. I really wonder if that's a conversation. Let me see if I can look that up. Let me see. Let me share this. Um,
The school system we know today is created by John D. Rockefeller. He believed that the best education for poor youth was vocational, presumably so they would be able to maintain occupations in their adult lives. The school system we know today is created by John D. Rockefeller. He believed that the best education for poor youth was vocational, presumably so they would be able to maintain occupations in their adult lives. The school system we know today is created by John D. Rockefeller. He believed that the best education for poor youth was vocational, presumably so they would be able.
In the early 20th century, the landscape of American education underwent a significant transformation. At the forefront of this transformation was John D. Rockefeller, a name synonymous with immense wealth and industrial power. This video delves into the history, chronology, and implications
for educational purposes.
of the Rockefeller school system, exploring its far-reaching impact on education and society. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were marked by rapid industrialization and urbanization in the United States. During this period, the need for a more structured and unified education system became apparent. John D. Rockefeller,
For educational purposes.
a titan of the oil industry, saw an opportunity to influence this sector profoundly. In 1902, he established the General Education Board, (GEB), with a mission to promote education throughout the country. Rockefeller's vision for education was not just about increasing literacy, but also about shaping the future.
So he's shaping the youth to be where he wants them to be when they grow up. Politicians, laborers, or whatever.
Workforce. The GEB received substantial funding. eventually amounting to over $180 million, a massive sum at the time. This funding was directed towards standardizing education, particularly in the South, which lagged behind the rest of the country in terms of educational infrastructure and accessibility. The GEB's influence extended beyond mere funding. It played a crucial role in shaping the curriculum, emphasizing subjects that would produce a disciplined and efficient workforce.
Now, ain't that something? Because black people was coming out of slavery. Guess what? They're gonna need to be educated. Let's get ahead of this and build the school. It's gonna be religious. It's gonna be Baptist based, and it's gonna educate you on our medicine. The way that you being healed now, you will see fade away and deteriorate into a myth, and eventually have your people being called snake oil salesmen.
The focus was on practical skills and basic literacy, steering away from classical education models that prioritized philosophy, art, and critical thinking. The GEB was founded with an initial grant of $1 million from Rockefeller. This marked the beginning of a new era in American education, with a focus on standardization and practical skills. By 1906, the GEB had expanded its reach significantly. It funded schools, teacher training programs, and educational research.
That's where that mentality come from, boy. That's the risk of being educated. It's being educated in America is being trying to get your people. You leave out the hood and you come back, y'all stupid. Cause I got a group of people with money that agree with me. And they're gonna give me a good job for saying this shit I'm saying. Y'all not gonna get no funding for your life. That's crazy.
Board's influence grew, particularly in rural and southern states. One of the most significant contributions of the GEB was the Flexner Report, published in 1910. Authored by Abraham Flexner and funded by the GEB, this report critically assessed medical education in the United States and Canada. Its findings led to the closure of many substandard medical schools and the reform of medical education, ensuring a higher standard of medical training. Throughout the 1920s, the GEB continued to consolidate its influence over the American education system. It promoted the consolidation of rural schools into larger, more efficient institutions. This period also saw the GEB advocating for the professionalization of teaching, emphasizing the need for trained and certified teachers. By the 1940s, the influence of the
Like y'all ain't seeing what I'm seeing, man. Am I tripping? Like, am I really that far outside the house? Like I'm in the middle of the street or the alley by my damn self. Like what are we doing, man? We gonna sit here and get educated by their ass, and then come back home and call our people snake oil salesmen.
GEB began to wane. However, its legacy was firmly established. The standardized, pragmatic approach to education that the GEB had championed became the norm across the United States. One of the enduring mysteries surrounding the Rockefeller school system is the extent of its control over the American education system. Critics argue that Rockefeller's involvement in education was not entirely altruistic. They suggest that the emphasis on producing a disciplined workforce served the interests of industrialists like Rockefeller, ensuring a steady supply of obedient and skilled workers. Another critical point of contention is the suppression of critical thinking. By focusing on practical skills and basic literacy, the Rockefeller school system arguably limited students' ability to think critically and question the status quo.
Now, where is that not true at? It took you away from art, philosophy, and critical thinking. Like just because we move closer to laboring and learning stuff, engineer, mechanics, we don't gotta leave critical thinking.
Quo. This has led to ongoing debates about the true purpose of education and the need for a more holistic approach that includes critical thinking and creativity. Despite these criticisms, the Rockefeller school system's impact on American education is undeniable. It laid the groundwork for the modern education system, with its emphasis on standardization and practical skills. However, the debate over its true intentions and long-term effects continues to this day. The Rockefeller school system represents a pivotal chapter in the history of American education. Its legacy is a complex mix of progress and controversy, reflecting the broader tensions between industrial interests and educational ideals. As we continue to navigate the challenges of modern education, the lessons from the Rockefeller era remain relevant, reminding us of the need to balance practicality with critical thinking.
Now, man, I know Domo knew about this stuff, but I don't think he lined it up like this. Like he ain't gonna have no choice but to agree with me. Like I know you see Rockefeller money affecting the curriculum in school, the basis of the school. I'm funding Baptist colleges that teach this type of medicine, this type of history, this type of philosophy. He built schools to teach his curriculum to the world. And now here we come up out of them just repeating what they say without even looking into if motherfuckers won or lost cases. I know he lost the case. These ways of healing ourselves works. To this day, these indigenous ways of healing ourselves, herbs and rest and fasting. But America wants you to always be up. Here's an energy drink. They want you to eat all day. Breakfast. Look, they introduced breakfast. Breakfast wasn't even a thing. They created fucking breakfast. Like if I just ate right before I went to sleep, I don't need to eat as soon as I wake up. I ain't did shit. So they don't want you to rest. They always want you up. They always want you eating. Everything that keeps you young and enables you to live for a long time, they against. It's 1800 something. If we let the world progress in the natural state where herbalism and homeopathy and naturopathy is the way, by the time we get to the year 2025, we'll have a cure for AIDS, herpes. Of course we can't let this be. Of course we can't let this be. Is that my dog? Of course we can't let this be the evolution of medicine. So we're gonna have to give credit. The history's always gonna go back to the black woman that was naked in the house with no shoes or with no floor, with a dirt floor. The history is gonna go back to indigenous people who healed themselves with plants. Now, thank John D. Rockefeller and his advancements in medication. If John D. Rockefeller would have never did what he did, the evolution of medicine would have been natural, plant-based, non-patentable herbs. Instead, we got genetically modified foods, synthetic vitamins, and a curriculum built to train us to be laborers and Baptists and politicians. You've been gone too long, Domo. You been left home, brother. I need that little baby bite there. You want some more chips? Finish it? So, um, yeah, boy, you hit, man. You ain't gonna be able to get yourself out of this. Not out of this. You will be able to get yourself out of this, brother. My apologies. Nah, you good, sis. It's just me talking to Damo, man. Don't worry about it. Hey, Jackson got another crowd workout. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, man. I'm finna relax. Wind it down. I'll be back tomorrow to see if I want to talk about this debate. I'm gonna watch this little Nate Jackson crowd work joint. It's pretty funny. Hmm. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, 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 yep. Now, bro, this some ironic shit, man. That you really call Dr. Sebi a snake oil salesman. And the mentality that would say that without doing any research, because you didn't know he won that court case. And you ain't got no testimonies. And the mentality that would say that was paid for and funded by snake oil salesman. You're gonna have to answer for that. Don't worry about it. I got you. All right, man. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging in there fucking with me, man. Till tomorrow, man. Keep your head up. Till I see the bullshit coming and maybe progression lays in what you got a passion, because work is work. But it ain't got to be tortured. It's the boy Swag Boss. It's the Argument League. We out.